Welcome to the dark side of NHL 95.
Ladies and gents, NHL 95ers, and all other video game enthusiasts, we have a special guest this evening on the dark side of 95 with the granddaddy, the old pappy, the maestro of NHL 95, King Segathon, or he likes to go by Segathon, I guess, but Mr. Nick Sobel.
Hello.
Hello, Nick. So, Mr. Segathon, however you want to go by Nick or Segathon, it's
Just call me Sega. That's easy.
All right, Sega.
Everybody knows me. When
There
they
you
hear the when they're like, "Who the fuck's this guy?" So yeah.
Some guy who loves goats and playing. We'll get to those topics later.
Oh yeah.
It's all about getting in the toes and the feet. So, Sega, the thing we're going to talk about, we're going to do our normal spiel. We have some what if questions. We have some questionnaires, some rapid fire, open discussion, and ask some Magnus. But let's start off with some of the big things. Let us know a little bit about yourself. Doesn't have to go into huge detail. I know that you're already a spoken man with 2 girls and a wife.
3 girls actually.
3 girls, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that's
4
all right.
girls then with your wife.
Yeah. And then 5 with the dog.
Yeah, and and I don't know how many female goats you have, so.
Oh, two.
There you go. So the big thing I would have been saying is most women to say, well, I got 4 boys. One of them's my husband.
Oh yeah.
3 girls,
Yeah.
and one of them's my wife. So tell us a little bit about you, since I think this has been a long awaited, everyone trying to know more about Mr. Segathon.
Yeah, well, I am a 42, live in the great state of Minnesota. Live just outside the Twin Cities metro area, kind of suburbs, exurbs. Got a little hobby farm out here, where I got my goats and my chickens and my thoroughbreds of the sky, my pigeons, and wife and kids, and living the dream. Some of my friends call me Peter Pan because I've never really grown up, because I just like still playing these dumb little games. I really haven't evolved past that, but I'm fine with it.
So your pixie dust would be your goat's pee.
Yep, exactly. It's
Okay,
pungent too.
Pungent. Okay, it's very good. At least it keeps the aroma around. So given what we've always done with Dark Side of 95, we could change up things, but I always like to stick to the nitty gritty. What is your best and worst 95 story?
Let's see.
And you probably got a laundry list.
Yeah, well, I would say my best story. I'm trying to actually. It's so funny. I can't even get into my own Segathon site because I forgot my password. I was going to look at old ones, trying to figure out which one when I won. So I would say when I won my first Segathon, that's probably be my favorite story. You always remember your first, right?
I always remember my first, which I haven't remembered my first playoff series win because I haven't won one yet.
Yeah. So and I'll just kind of give you maybe I'll do a quick thing on just the origins of Segathon.
Yeah, please.
So the biggest thing about it is, even though I am the commish, I am not the founder. I'm not one of the 4 founders.
How dare you, you imposter!
I know. It's a big thing. So big brother Blair to Brandon Clinton's one of my best buddy. We grew up in Kindernook together. That's Autobahn. So we were like the little brothers, and then Blair, who's B Clinton, and then Judd Gaelic Gopher, were the older, 1 grade older than us. And Blair and Judd, and then 2 other guys, Pat and Andy, were like the original 4 guys that did the Sega stuff. And they did it for years, like with no, not really keeping any, really loosey goosey, right? And then like after we got out of college, we started getting into it again. And one day I was like, gosh, that was such a, we did a fun tournament because me and Brandon bought a house together, and then we had a couple other buds live with us. So it was kind of the post-party house after college. Like if you remember Workaholics at all, that Comedy Central show.
Yeah.
We were kind of like that crew, you know, just trying to get through work so we could go have be dumb and party and all that stuff. And after one, I was like, you know what? And I was like, I've been a sales guy my whole life for the most part. And some days you just don't want to freaking cold call. So you just get on the computer and like, well, what am I going to do today? You know, I got my sales in, or I can't get rejected one more time. So I went on the old internet, which was not as much as it is now. And I started Googling, and I found the unholygrail.com, which is Patrick, from our league. He had a site where he recapped Segathon type 30s of NHL 95 with like 6-7 of his buds. And it was just, I was so enthralled with it. I read it, and you know, he's a funny dude. And as you can see, like on his stream, he's got really good graphic skills. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I got to do this. So I got on, like, it was Microsoft front page at the time, which is like basically Microsoft Word. And then it goes, you know, converts to HTML, real clunky.
Kind of like MSN Messenger.
Yeah.
Let me send a screenshot. It takes 20 minutes to upload.
Yeah, exactly. So I ended up, I go, you know what? I'm going to start this. And like, we found like a pizza box that had like stats from one year that was in one guy's trunk for like 2 years. And then I just started uploading that stuff and kind of writing in the same way Mr. Unholy Grail did. He was a lot funnier, so we just started doing that, and then that's when it just took off. Went from like 4 to 6 guys to like 10 to 20, keeping the stats, posting the pictures, and got bigger and bigger. And then we kind of became the first search when you type in NHL 95 past, like, you know, something from GameSpot or, you know, some review. And that's when I started, you know, getting in contact with, you know, all these other, you know, tribes out there like HAI and, you know.
Let's hope we didn't lose you, Nick. We might have lost Nick, or he's pressed mute, one or the other. He's still blabbing, but we don't hear you, Nick.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay.
We're gonna have to cut that piece out. You're gonna have to go backtrack a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. Let me know where to backtrack from.
Go to where you were saying about the unholy and that you guys were starting to get bigger.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, back to the part where, did you get the part where I was sales and just started?
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
It was all the way up until you said the unholy. You were trying to copy what they did, and then you got GameSpot or Game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah, basically, when we put our site up, then it started growing, and I put more stuff into it, and eventually we kind of got to the top spot for like Google. If you Googled NHL 95, you know, you'd find our site, and that's where I started connecting with people all over the world. Really, I mean, not a ton of people, but you know, an amount that would be like, oh, I love it. We do the same thing. Or we do it with a little trick. So, you know, that's, you know, the HAI guys, Waterloo guys, this Boston, Detroit crew, the Finland guys, you of course. That's kind of where we kind of started building, you know, this loose group. I call them tribes. I was going to call them clans, and I thought, oh, that could get a little rough. We're all clans. So I turned it to tribes. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. And then, so my best Segathon memory was winning my first Segathon championship. It was always Judd and Pat, who was the original winner. So we have a looseness of it where it's kind of more laid back. Like I always say, it's like we were the 1950s football players or hockey players that had to have like sell insurance and, you know, have a milk route in the off season, and then you go play, you know, professionally. So yeah. We always had a thing of like, you know, you don't practice, you don't do anything. You pick up the controller and you play that day, and then you don't touch it for whenever we play again. But I practiced a lot and played and ended up beating Andy in the finals. And it was one where we actually, like, as you know, as you can see, Judd's a wild man. And what you see now is about 1/10 of the wildness he was during his prime. So when he got eliminated drunk, he basically shut down the whole tourney yelling at everybody. It was an epic moment. So we actually had to play the last like 4 games another day after a golf tournament. But then I had an asterisk because a little bit, because I, you know, wasn't the whole long drunken tourney, because as you saw at the Segathon that you joined, I'm a bit of a lightweight, so I'm normally passed out before the festivities are over.
So that's how probably come you can't fucking defend a title, because you're never even in the rankings defending a title.
No, I'm sleeping.
Sleeping, half naked, buzzed your mind or doing something.
Yeah, I have been woken up to play finals games before, and let me tell you, they didn't go that well.
So a quick question of it. So I've always been intrigued about it. When did the themed Segathons happen?
2004, I think, was our first, like, we're calling it Segathon, or maybe even we might have had 2 before we called it Segathon. I remember talking with Judd, and I was going through whatever GoDaddy, and I'm like, what are we going to call this? And we kind of called it Segathon and a couple things, and I'm like, so I think Judd might even came up with Segathon, and I'm like, oh, we got the URL, so we bought that, and that's how we went with it. Even though we played a lot, we probably even played more Nintendo, the original Nintendo, than Sega, you know, but you know, up until that point.
So when you started using like the President's theme or the Slapshot theme, when did those start coming into play?
Oh yeah, you know what? That's a good point. I kind of took that from the Madisons, the old Madisons. Let's see if I can get in here. Let me try this. The old
his pants something.
Tecmo Super Bowl, you know, okay. The ones that were run in Madison, they always did a thing where they had a pun name and be like, you know, like the movie Cannonball Run.
Yeah.
You know, so they used it. There was a guy named Rich Gannon, and they called it Cannonball Run and did shirts. So you played the movie the whole time while you watch. So I think we probably did that maybe the President's Day one might have been the first one we did masks and stuff like that. So that's really kind of added some craziness to the old party. Let me see if I can get to there.
And the funny thing is that I really do hope he comes back, that Chris comes back, because having Sammy in the league was like just flat out fun.
Oh yeah, he'll be back. He got a new job and he's just doing the adult thing and focusing.
Yeah, I figured as much.
So because it does suck you in. I mean, I can't believe how many times I get on that damn site, that Discord site. I'm like, sometimes I gotta I have a little folder now on my desktop, you know, where the shortcuts, and I have to go into a folder that says don't do it, and then I click into it, and then there's the Discord channel. I just find myself on it too much. It's fun. It's really fun.
Well, at least you're not like Ed in the Google Sheets. The whole Mr. Wolfie, he's in there. I think he actually leaves his internet open, so that shows that he's the longest reigning person.
Yeah, but you know, and like, even though we haven't done movies for a while, we always had like a theme. So like Judd would normally pick the divisions, and that was kind of the theme. So it might be, you know, Putin, you know, back in 2010, or Rob Lowe. It was like we'd pick some random person to be like the honorary divisions.
Yeah, so you would have like Nikolai Volkov. Like,
yeah, we just somehow would come up, what are we naming the divisions this year? You know, like we, you know, all different stuff.
Cat food. So the next one's going to probably be animal related. It'll be the goats.
Okay.
The possums, the badgers, anything that's a little ferocious.
Yeah.
And so what would be your worst 95 story? Like what's the darkest one? I know that Blair has a shit ton of funny ones that 99% of the story is not true.
Oh yeah. You know, I would say, well, the one that kind of knows is the COVID happened. We were going to do the big, you know, Dark Side of 95 before even the league happened. And we got together all the tribal chiefs of, you know, Klein and Bell and the Boston guys and the Finnish guys. And then COVID happened and it closed everything down. But the silver lining was that you came out and started the league, because we tried to start the league even before you at one point, and it just I can't do it. I that's just not my core competency. So when you came in, that's kind of the worst but best memory in a way is getting the W. I gotta start using the lingo, listening to the Klein podcast. You gotta call it the W.
Well, the funny thing is that they come up with their own way, but W has been kind of sticking because a lot of people refer it now to the W, and then there's the Q, which is the secondary league, which we have the Bruley Cup, and then in the other one is the Q Cup. And if you have the shitty bill, and in the Q it's called the X Cup because you don't know which prospect you're going to end up with. So that's kind of where I went with the X Cup. And then now there's a third league I'm potentially thinking about doing, which is basically it's going to be called the NHL History. So it's basically reliving the NHL through every season, but playing all the games, having the original rosters, no trading, just the original rosters. You play with the team, you get randomized that team, and you play through the seasons.
Cool. I know I'd love to join more leagues, but I love keeping things like sweet. Like I don't want to ever have to like plow through an NHL 95 game because I have to get it done because I'm in 4 leagues, because there's definitely part of me that would love to be in every single possible 95.
That's right, Peter Pan.
Yeah, exactly. But I did that with Tecmo, like, because I got into Tecmo more than this originally because 94 had a ton of stuff, but it's just like 94 and I play in one league in 94, but it's like it's just a little different. It's like going to play pickup basketball, and I like playing like half court, but they're like, oh no, we're only playing full court. And they're like, fuck. So that's kind of that's why I kind of migrated to Tecmo, and then I got into way too many leagues there, so I only do one league in Tecmo too now.
Well, there you go. You kind of keep it simple.
Yeah.
Simple life for a simple man, for simple.
Yes, indeed.
So we always have this kind of discussion about like, who are like the best 5 guys, who are the worst, who are the hardest competitors, who is basically like what are trends we're seeing in the league. You know what? We're gonna fucking flip the script a little bit. We're gonna talk about some of the guys in the league that don't get the love that we normally should be giving them.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I honestly think some of the guys in the league are like just as good as the elite because of their involvement in the league, their attitude towards games, their fun-loving kind of thing that they love about being in the league.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna have some questions in the other part that we're gonna bring up those guys as well. However, I wanted to ask you who of the non-top 10 teams, because we all know who the top 10 are in the league. We can throw that out. We already know it's Bell, Klein. No, what am I going here? Klein, you might be just on the cusp of the top 10.
They've been talked about enough. Fuck them. Let's talk about the rest of them.
Yeah, fuck it. Whatever. They talk enough too. So of the tiers 3 and 4, let's put it that way. That's a little bit easier to talk about those teams.
Okay, tier 3 and 4. Let me go to
3 and 4. Which of those teams in tier 3, tier 4 do you see a potential tier 1 ability in them?
Oh, I would say, well, I'm just looking first. Let's look at Maroon Tailgate. I got your beautiful.
So Maroon Tailgate, you got Tickness, you got Sonoma Valley, you got Hamilton and Saguenay.
I would say all 4 have chance to be top tier. They all put in the work. I mean, obviously, Tick and Husky, they both have the 94 bloodline pedigree. So they play online. They know all the little things like know what to do, how to connect, all that stuff. I mean, that's the one thing, like us Minnesota boys not being as big of nerds and having bigger dicks, we don't know how to do those things. And so they got that.
Your boys don't hang low and they don't.
Yeah. So, but those guys, they're gonna get there, and they'll eventually get there. Just like the King did. G has been amazingly how much better he's gotten, and not really. Cause did he play as a kid or not? He didn't play it as a kid, right?
No, he's a big Halo guy.
Yeah, so like he plays a little differently, and I see him do things that you normally wouldn't do because you're so used to playing, your big brother, your friend across the street. So he does weird things that sometimes work. And I know he's beat me because I'm like, well, no one would ever try to make a pass right there. And then he does. And if it connects, it's a beautiful goal. And then of course Sutton, you know, he's he's the Iron Man. He's always on, he's always dealing, he's always thinking. So
but you want to know what the funny thing is? He's just like Judd, he's an insurance man, but he's our daytime insurance man, where Judd is our evening late night bleu nuit / X-porn fucking
So Sutton, he'll eventually get there just due to hours invested. It's like, what is it? To become a master or something, you got to have 10,000 hours in. And he's got about 9,000 hours in already of trade requests and stuff. So he's going to get there.
To be honest, I think Sutton is the biggest league pot stirrer. and I'm not bullshitting. Yeah. Sorry, Sutton, but you are. Literally, he's always bringing something up to change. And he's always like, this is just for an open discussion, though. It's just like, the thing is, I take open discussion as being just as important as a league announcement.
Well, it is. You have such go get 'em like attitude that like people will be like, you know what? Could we change the third letter in everybody's name to a capitalization? And you're like, on it. And you're like, no, I was just talking out loud. That's like 40 hours of work. But
I kind of put my own foot in my own mouth, my dick in my own ass, one or the other.
All right, so let me go down to the other tier 3, and well, shit, yeah. I mean, again,
Highland Wolf,
Halifax,
Sugar Valley, and Elias.
Yeah, I mean, all of them. And so Elias has got some 94 pedigree, and then he does some other online stuff with that. You know, I gotta try that Hackball.
Oh, it's fucking fun. It's pretty fun.
So he's got that. So he's got that ability. You know, he's got that online ability, and like actually, if anything, you know, I thought he'd be a little higher now. Of course, the Wolf. I mean, fucking A. You know, he 5-tool player with all the GM and the talking, all that stuff, and then just the history of a tribesman like me.
Well, the bad thing is about the Wolf, even though I'm like, hey, Wolfie, I give you a little pet because you're not you're still a wolf cub because you're tier 3. I'm the one to talk. I'm fucking like I keep talking about, I'm a tier what's called a category 5 cyclone. I'm more of like partly cloudy with some chance of storms.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and like I would say the Wolf, out of all those guys that we've mentioned in tier 3, is the guy that will sometimes just I haven't like just where you can't stop him. Like I've had games where I'm like, how the hell, you know, he's probably the one that has the most forceful goals on me where I like, well, you're not getting through this, and then he does. You know,
well, you're the same way. You're the actual same way. You're like, you know what? I'm not going to get it. I'm going to force it with a downbeat right down your dirty mouth.
Exactly. The dirty down B. So, well, and then Halifax, you know, he's really good. Like I remember, because he didn't know anything about 95. He's 94 guru. He's kind of now the godfather of 94. And when he's like, what do I do? And I go, hey, focus on your goalie control first. And because if you're coming over from 94, the goalies are sieves, and then 95, they're twice as wide. So if you have competent 94 goalie control, you should be, you know, you're already ahead of half the people, especially in season 1 where no one knew what was going on.
Everybody was Swiss cheese.
Yeah. So he's got that for him. And then he, you know, his Osho isn't he can get on streaks, but other times, you know, he's the opposite where you don't have to worry too much. And then Sugar Valley, Einstein, he with McGill, like he's got the same thing Lloyd Christmas does. If he had one other good player, he'd be a lot more strong. Because I mean,
he already is strong. That's the thing. Yeah. He beat me in both our games, shut me out 5-0, and beat me 4-2.
And I think that's like, because you know he plays offline at the tourneys, and he also has that force where like, oh, I couldn't stop it. You know, sometimes you're just like, there's nothing I could have done to stop that goal, and he has that as well. So yeah, I could see all these guys tier 1, especially, you know, because eventually there's going to be, you know, I got a new job, I got to take some time off or something like that. So yeah, I see everybody in tier 3 could be tier 1. That was the thing I was talking with. We'll kind of go to the news of the day, the big bad Texan coming in. I actually I played 2 games X-Heat against him, like maybe his first 95 games online in a long time when I was on vacation. And yeah, he was good. I was kind of I wasn't playing like killer mode. I was like seeing what he could do because I wanted to give him some tips, and he was really good. And I think I caused the 10-0 because he goes, well, what do you think I am? I'm like, you do really well in tier 4. And he's like, what? Like, I didn't know he was a big 94 guy.
Oh, he's big in 90. He's like,
Yeah.
I found this out myself that he's actually like top 10.
Yeah. So like he's going to be another King Wrath and come in there. But to say that, you know, we talked about these 8, you know, tier 3 teams, and they're all, you know, I wouldn't bet against any of those tier 4 team or tier 3 teams and, you know, and Tex just yet. I mean, those are all, like I said, they're all good players.
But Tex is tier 4, and like
yeah,
his team's stacked too. And he's told me as well. He says, like, I'm just lucky, but he's already planning 3 seasons from now. So
yeah, and that's fun. That's the kind of guys we want in the league that are
well, not only that, that's the thing too, is that we know that he'll play. We know that he's going to be committed now, because he's already asking me. He's just like, oh, I lose Gretzky. Who should I go after on defense? I might need to do this. I might need to do that. Roenick's my key point. Maybe I should bench Turgeon and get somebody else. Like,
yeah, no, he's a great addition.
Yeah,
great
for sure. I see that, like, him being right now is the tier 4 people. I see him being the potential only one right now as being a tier 1 potential.
Oh yeah, I think he's gonna it's gonna be a fun playoffs when he takes the top seed, and then
it might be a reality check though too.
Oh no, yeah, that's like I said, I don't think he can win it all, but it's going to change things. Like right now, I got to play Bell in the first round, so I might as well just shoot myself in the dick and just call it a day.
We'll get to your dick shooting later, because I got a few things to ask you about that.
All right, groovy. All right, so those are all the tier 3 guys, all class.
So given with the tier, like right now from what we had gone on, we know MN Yoda is coming in as well, taking over Troy City. What are your thoughts of creating a minor league for the W?
Well, I would say I would defer and say whatever doesn't burn you out, because we want you, like what Klein says, is we need you to be because once you leave, the league will stay for about a month, and it will just crumble into ashes, and the tribes will be eating each other.
So I'm put it this way, I'm like Poseidon, I keep shit in order.
Yep. I think you need to have some sort of vetting process so you can make sure that the people are invested.
Oh, and then that's the big thing too, is I had a good chat, me and Caden, the other night. And we were going through, I'm actually starting to show him how to do the Google Sheets.
Which ones is that, Hoth?
Yeah, Hoth.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he's putting Lloyd to shame list. Like, I understand Lloyd likes to ref his hockey games and he wants to be more involved, but Caden, man, bust that motherfucker's balls and tell him to stop put down the whistle and start putting the freaking controller in his hand.
Are they buds?
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
Caden got in because Lloyd brought in Caden.
Oh, I love it. So is he an HAI guy or just a Philly guy?
I think he's just a Philly guy.
Oh, groovy. That's awesome.
I think. I'm not 100%. Mike, you can verify with me if you're a high guy or not.
Yeah.
Not Kleiner, Mike. You know who you are.
And I just love, like, for about, I would say 20 years, well, not 20, well, shit, 2004 till 2020. So that's what, 16 years. I was like in an island of, like, I thought I was the only person that really, you know, besides, and then meeting, like, you know, getting the other tribes, but I kind of thought, you know, I was the only guy that really loved this 95. And now I feel like I'm like about the number 12th guy in content creation and love for this game. And I love it. I love getting lapped by all you guys and showing the 95 love. It's just great.
And this is like, and Halifax alluded to it, and like I can see the understanding of it, that the 95 league, we're spoiled from what I do, what everybody else in the community does. Any new manager who joins the league, the other elite wolf, elite wolf, or the pound puppy who's been banned. I banned him because I'm not fucking sitting around anymore, fucking like keeping tabs on people if they're gonna play or not.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Comical font, you're a doll, because honestly, like, for her to be waiting a month to play, pumps out 7 games or 8 games in like one night once, like, she got into her dorm, and on top of it too, pumping out content
Yeah, that's really cool. That's
I enjoy.
awesome too. Yeah, and then doing that in college too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, although we played it in college, but it was all just in the dorm, or in the apartment. Yeah.
But the big thing is I can appreciate is that's communication. That's somebody who's been involved, or at least taking the time to be involved.
Exactly.
But any person who's joined the fold, I've talked with them all. They're like, this is such a great group of guys together.
Oh yeah, no, it's fun. I just like I was telling after Ticklepuss did one of his things about the drinking game to Klein's podcast. I was laughing so hard, and I'm like, I posted, I'm like, oh, you might be my new best friend now, Brandon. You're done.
Sorry, bud, you're back, buddy.
It was just, I was just laughing. I was just crying, and I was on my family vacation, and I'm just like being a delinquent dad, looking on my phone, which I shouldn't do. I should be enjoying the mountains, and I'm just giggling at this at the take a drink when all the different catchphrases.
Or mountains much?
Mountains much?
Mountains much? The funny thing is about it all too, is the more detail that we find from other people and the more people get involved in the league, it becomes, everyone has their own stick. I know the Segathon guys are not very techie, but they, like, even Luke, now that he's joined Discord, he's starting to be more involved.
Yeah, we got to get him on more. So yeah, he's a live
he's going to eventually join. But like, this is the thing where going back to the whole minor league, where I think it'd be good for a vetting process, but also prove that you're willing to stick around and also have the ability to say, hey, I want to join the big league.
Yeah,
like,
especially
hey,
especially with the dynasty format. It's not like you're in it for 1 year and then it's a redraft and everything. It is like you can kind of mess up the whole flow. And luckily, we've been pretty good about that. Like, not going too crazy over roster moves and stuff like that.
No, and the big thing is a lot of the things I had mentioned earlier was with the league, how it is. When I had my my dark side with Nipples or with Adolf, he asked me, he says, how long can you go?
Yeah.
How long can you do this for? So that third league that I was setting, I'm already kind of like, no, I don't even want to bother. It was an idea. I'd like throwing this around.
I really think the tournaments is the way to do it. Like, do these little tournaments, like,
the Waterloo one that we did.
Yeah, the Waterloo one, and that keeps guys kind of busy. And obviously, it's a balance, just like in the Tecmo league I'm in. The guy's name's David Hofstetter, who runs like 3 leagues. And he goes, it's really hard to balance. And what you guys did with the Q League, what you made is good because you have half the guys that are super users that want to play 20 games a day, and then you got the other guys that love it, but they're just like, I can only get in a few games a week. To have that balance and to keep it going, and you've done a really good job balancing that.
Yeah, and I think, and everybody's like, thank you so much for putting this league together. I'm like, it wouldn't be a league if you guys weren't playing your games and being
So, but yeah, and just the camaraderie of this league, like even in the Tecmo leagues and other stuff that I do, like this is really tight. I think part of it is tight because we have these 3-4 tribes that have connected, and you got the closeness there and some history. So it's just really
ties it together.
Plus, and I hope I can meet a lot, at least all you Canadians at the dark side tourney. I know
you're gonna meet me. Well, you've already met me. You had to deal with me for a week.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Son of a bitch. You brought my Canadian freaking cocaine with me.
Yeah, dang right.
But you're gonna meet LHX. You're gonna meet probably the Unholy, Gamby.
Nice.
Nate from Waterloo is gonna be there. I think Moses is coming. I think Bell might. Bell, correct me if I'm wrong, but you might be there.
I hope he. Well, I'd love to play him in person, but I'd also like to have a championship. So we'll see.
Well, that's the thing. We only have right now 7 people registered for the dark side.
Yeah. No, and I know it was such a bummer because we had before when we had the tribal tournament we were going to do. I mean, we were going to rent a house. The Segathon guys, we were going to have like 7-8 guys, but it just didn't work for the date and everything this time.
It almost feels like I'm like Dr. Evil, and I'm gathering all my tribe members, tribe leaders, come and meet with me. Number 2, what do you
Number
do?
Yeah.
And it's Will Ferrell. Oh, Mr. Evil, I don't know what we should be doing. Here goes down the fucking fire tube, bud.
Yeah.
So, all right. So shifting gears here, Mr. Segathon.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get into something here. These are our question period. I don't know why I spent like 20 minutes writing down all these new ones, but I threw out my old notebook that had all my old questions, and I'm like, fucking, I got to think of some new ones.
You have such an active mind. The amount of stuff you get done in a day, you could probably do my job in about 2 hours because I move a lot slower than you.
I do my job in about half hour in a day, and then I spend the rest doing our league.
Oh, that's good.
That?
Just don't let your boss hear it.
Ooh, no, I don't think I have enough viewers out of my 18 people that subscribe. So, first question: create a new sport using an existing one combined with a household chore. What would the name of the sport be? And 1 or 2 rules.
Oh, well, that gives a lot of thought. I think the thing that comes easiest to mind, and I've done it with my kids, is, you just basically you clean the floor with socks and it's all wet and soapy, and then you play like hockey. Would be like washing the floor hockey. We've done that already. So I would say that. I mean, they kind of do more of the figure skating because they're three chicks. They're not too much into sports. They're dancers. So
there you go. So kind of like Slapshot, eh? You have your what's it called? The pinwheel of the extravaganza.
Yeah. So you'd have your Swiffers, and then like probably a sponge to use as a hockey puck, that kind of thing. So
fair enough. And what would be the nets? Because you would be using it in the kitchen then, I guess.
Yeah, I think when you're playing like knee hockey in your in the living room.
The hallways are
so it's always like the hallway doors. So like the one door from the door jams would probably be the net.
We did that as me and my brother in the basement. We used to use ping pong balls.
Yeah.
And our nets would be the width of the room, but you'd have to use only your hands.
Oh yeah.
If you'd come on a breakaway, you're like, it's just you and me. It's not like we're doing anything extravagant.
Yeah. I played a lot of knee hockey at the Clinton house. It'd be me, Blair, Brandon, Judd, and then Brandon has 2 older brothers, and his one older brother I always thought was just so cool to play with us all the time as a kid. But it turns out he was always grounded. That's why he had to stay like on a Friday night and hang out with his young brothers.
Poor bastard.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what a nice guy. Like, oh no, he's grounded.
So next question. 3 things you want changed or added for season 6.
Oh, well, gosh.
Don't worry, you're not going to get crucified for this. This is your fucking pod.
No, it's well, I think the league's perfect. I would say for season 6, I would like a way to sort for how I asked you for like the top speed guys. I'd love to go through and be able to sort like by each year, the top agility guys and the top speed guys and something like that. That'd be kind of nice because pulling it up on that little, window, but it's kind of good in a way. Then it's harder to like find gems because you can't just do a sort by, okay, who's all 6 speed in 2014, that'd be something I'd like, I guess.
Well, that's actually something I've been working on. So
okay.
That might, it might be like, I might get rid of one of the search players. But I think the search players is actually kind of fun because if you're trying to compare 2 players from each other, you have them side by side. Mm-hmm. So the thing I was thinking about maybe doing is adding another tab, but then it's got a filter and it's pulling in all like the individual statistics. So like you could say, give me the top 5 skaters of season 7.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. So obviously you're treasure trove, and I think everybody's got to call out. You're probably the first person since out of the EA, studios in Canada to find fighting sprites in NHL 95. I mean, I can't believe that. I was thinking I tweeted it to a couple, like, I think I tweeted it to a magazine because they were talking about it they found it in Super Punch Out that you could play 2 players. Like that's something one of these magazines should talk to you. I mean, you've already done one of those, but like saying, hey, I found fighting sprites in 95 because, that was when they banned it in 94 and 95. So that's pretty amazing that you found that. So
and this is the crazy thing because I've done the search sprite in 94 to see if the fighting animation is there. It's not.
Yeah. So they were thinking of ways to put it in. So I mean, who knows if the actual code's in there? I mean, you're probably looking, but maybe it was just sprites and the code isn't, in in there, but it's so cool that it's there. I'd love to see, and then just those other goal celebrations and all the other things. That'd be cool to add little spice to the league if you can put a couple of those in there. That'd be really neat.
Well, there's one celebration I'm looking to get rid of.
Okay.
Is actually the one where he's on one skate and kind of pumping his fist.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of that one a little bit. And then there's the I actually like the one where he goes on his knee and pumps his fist underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one I don't really mind all that much, but I would like to see the one where he spins.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. That would be really
that one cool. Or I don't know, maybe add the Ovechkin hot stick in there.
Yeah. Something
like that. How old? So next one, how old and how did you find out Santa wasn't real?
Oh gosh, that's good. I remember it was probably like late grade school, like 5th grade, 4th grade. And I remember like staying up with my younger sister to see if we could catch Santa, and my dad taking a picture, and I can see in my face that I'm like, I think I'm in it for the toys at this point. I knew something was up. So I mean, it was just like I had the you didn't have the internet back then, but I had like the worst bus in the school. I lived in the neighborhood where they had the worst bus in the school because we were like the farm kids that had like cheap housing and stuff for the most part. So like my bus was just horrible. So I learned about so many raunchy things just going on the bus. So I'm sure somebody told me when I was in kindergarten, I wouldn't believe it.
Well, fuck it, you put it this way: instead of Dark Side 95, Dark Side of Back Alley, Minnesota.
Exactly.
The funny thing is how I found out about it. It's an interesting quick story. Is that we knew it was my dad, and the funny thing is that he never dressed up as Santa, but he'd be like, "You better go to bed, or Santa's not going to bring you any gifts."
Yeah.
And we're like, "What the fuck?" My dad liked to drink sometimes, but he got so hammered one night, and it happened to be Christmas Eve, and we're all waiting to go and see if Santa's there. And sure enough, my dad's downstairs next to the cookies and milk, holding a bottle of scotch.
Oh.
And he had the cookies on his chest, like kind of broken and cracked up. And the glass of milk was half full in his one hand and his scotch bottle was in the other. And we're like,
bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton.
Santa? Which one are you? And we knew right away that it was him. And then he says, listen, you're old enough to know that Santa doesn't exist. I buy the gifts. I put the food on the table. And he's trying to give us a fucking lecture on life.
Oh, that's funny.
You're like 5. So I learned really quickly. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, I think I'm a long game guy. So give me like immortality. So I could just wait all my enemies out and
mine was basically regenerative.
Oh yeah, it's kind of same deal.
Exactly. Kind of like Wolverine. I almost considered doing mutton chops this time. I shaved my beard off, and I was like, maybe I go back to my mutton chops, and I can rock the shit out of them. But when you start having the skin-colored yarmulke on top of your head, and you're like, I'm starting to go bald. You know what? Fuck that, man. I'm gonna look like some hobo out of back street that just got his life together after drinking hard for 30 years.
I like it.
Weapon of choice in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, well, it's got to be a gun. Like I'm actually going elk hunting in another week and a half again. So I've been Mr. Vacation. So we're going muzzle loading, which is like the old. You got to load it with black powder and you pump it down like the
old musket.
Civil War. So I'm doing that in 2 weeks. So that would be my weapon, I guess, because that's the last gun I've shot. But I don't think it'd go too well in a zombie apocalypse. So you know what? I'm actually gonna go kind of the long term, like the immortal invincibility. Like instead of a weapon, I'd wear a suit that like like the bear suit. You ever seen that guy who had the bear suit?
Oh yeah, you get attacked and you just like I don't get hurt.
So that's what I do. I'd go for instead of, because it's just like anything. It's like mosquitoes. You keep swatting them and killing them. There's another one to replace it. Just give me a big old suit that they can't get me, and I'll just go about my day while they're trying to chew on me.
Well, hopefully you would have to hope that they don't pull your limbs apart, and then you're.
That'd be true.
But if I had to choose one, ball and mace.
Oh, that'd be nice. I watched the first Game of Thrones new one. I haven't seen the second, but that one guy was rocking the ball and mace.
I just think you're kind of limited in what your ability is, but if you're dealing with zombies, you just spin that fucker. If you can get some momentum, you're taking out some heads, taking out some limbs. So I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's good because you don't run out of ammo either. Like if you have a gun, eventually you're gonna exhaust the ammo, and then it's just worthless.
True. So this one kind of ties into your last one. If you had to choose 5 things to bring with you in the wild, what would they be? So think about man versus wild kind of thing. If you had to choose 5 things to bring with you.
Okay, let's see. A flashlight.
A flashlight? Or
no, flashlight. That's what I mean. A flashlight.
Everybody,
flashlight.
I think we figured out Nick's style here. I'm gonna have to quiz the Segathon guys to know if he has a flashlight or a flashlight.
Oh yeah, it would just be that. Like, I'm trying to think of something fun. Other than be like, give me a little tent, some water filtration device, fire starter, and then a blow up doll.
Pommel and her 5 sisters doesn't work for you, eh?
Exactly. Okay. I need a stronger drug now.
The synthetic plastic might be first. You could use her as an inner tube afterwards when you have to cross water, I guess.
It's all jokes. This is all jokes. If someday I run for my school board meeting or something and they find this unearthed.
I told you, 18 people. 18 people. We're not getting out there to the masses.
Oh, I don't. I got enough. I got more bad pictures than nips floating around the internet of me being drunk at certain things. So,
I don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Pineapple on pizza, is that a faux pas or a do?
Oh, I like all different weird pizzas, like the buffalo pizza, the Mexican pizza, the sauerkraut pizza. It's just the best. I love it all, man.
Okay, good answer. That's a Canadian thing. I think a lot of people, like Americans, like pineapple on pizza. Are you fucked? Try it.
Yeah,
try it first before you bash a little bit of barbecue sauce. You're going a long way.
I had a Thai pizza in
that's
Colorado.
Actually quite nice.
That was really good. It's kind of sweet. It's really good. It's all about the crust in pizza, really.
Oh, definitely. Funniest word that's not funny.
Funniest word that's not funny. I'm drawing a blank, right? Give me yours, and then that might help.
Mine is kumquat.
Okay. Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Everybody else has said moist.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's yeah.
My wife actually came up with one, cotton linens. Which is, it's an English word from Britain, but cotton linens.
I like it. I'm gonna go with that one too.
Cotton linens.
Yep.
There you go. Okay. So going back kind of to like our before this segment, I said 5 teams in the league that could surprise moving forward. So any 5.
All right. 5 teams in the league. Let me look. Surprise moving forward. So
the surprise, Mr. Tex cannot be a surprise now because we know what he's capable of doing.
I need to watch more of the tier 4 guys. Obviously Gamby, every game I've played with Gamby has been like a 1-goal squeaker.
Yeah.
So, he's got it. I know that golfer Gibb, he's the one who plays a lot of the new NHL, right?
Yeah, he is.
So, he's probably, I don't think I've gotten to play him. Looking at the other tier 4 side. Again, Elk, I don't know if I got to play him last year either. Sedan and the Tonic guy are pretty active, but I haven't played any of them. So,
the one person I put on my board, and it's not because like of whatever reasons, it's that I think once he gets more practice and he gets more games in and he's shown it, is Matty A. Yeah. For the fact that he's already won more games this season in 13 games than he did in the last full 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's starting to click.
Yeah, definitely. Next question. Favorite movie and TV show?
Oh, Big Lebowski. That's a lot of ones, but that's like I liked it the first time I saw it. I think I saw it in high school. And I'm like, this is amazing. So yeah, it's a lot of people's favorite, but yeah, Big Lebowski. It's like it's almost religion to me. It's so good.
There you go. And favorite TV show?
Oh, TV show. I guess it's kind of talking about like, well, what's your favorite burger? It's like, well, I've had 80 more McDonald's cheeseburgers than any other burger on the planet. So I would have to probably say Simpsons because, through the classic, because it's been through the years. I don't really watch it now, but, I'd probably say that's probably the most what I've watched growing up.
A good one, and I mentioned this on Halifax's pod, is Crossing Swords.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I know that one.
It's on Netflix. It's on Hulu. It's basically a squire but all the characters have no arms or
Oh,
legs. They're
that's
basically
funny.
like Playmobil people.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Do you have a secret skill?
Oh, I can name basically any poultry, their breed by description or picture.
Wow. Okay. That's actually an interesting one. My wife would actually challenge you on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Would you rather have 2 small baby hands
Okay.
or 1 giant Mickey Mouse hand?
Okay, question. How big is the Mickey Mouse hand? Like, give me some
A
dimensions.
large one, a giant Mickey Mouse hand.
Yeah, like what are we talking? Like, is it bigger than Shaq's hand?
It's kind of like almost the ones that you would see the foam fingers at the baseball games.
Well, I think, you know.
So we're talking Kenny Pickett small hands.
Okay, and do I have to do I still have an arm on the other hand and just
yes, yeah, you do, but you have the choice whether you have a normal small hand with a big large Mickey Mouse one, or 2 small like baby-sized hands, so like tiny that you can barely hold an apple.
Yeah, I do baby-sized hands and just send dick pics because they just look giant.
It's like a baby holding a candy apple.
I'd be on Tinder all day. Swipe right for me, or is it left? I don't even know.
It's like Baby Herman and Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this fucking schnoz. Greatest fear.
Oh, you got to go death, right? That's the final one.
It's the only guarantee in life.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think I'm in the industry?
Exactly. It's booming.
So, top 3 best logos in the league.
Oh, top 3 best logos. That's
kind of an oxymoron. That shit is just
they're all great. Like, you know, they're all great. I mean, you know, I'm trying to think like, how do I describe it? Like, you know, obviously like Gopher, because it's the, you know, we're Gopher snobs, but like, I think like just, you know, and like Hamilton, he's using the old Swayze one. So you gotta, I like that a lot. And then I'll go Autobahn because it's that's a big Lebowski thing. So I'll go those 3.
Yeah, mine would be Type A with Nate.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
There's Sunnyvale with McLean with the shithawk.
Oh yeah, no, shut up. That's it. Sunnyvale's number 1. I forgot about that.
And then I think the last one would probably be Halifax with the Sam Squanches one.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. But I'd put Sunnyvale 1 and then the other ones. I'll kick the Gophers out because that's kind of cheating. But I love that hockey logo. That's
so cool. We all know you're from Minnesota. You're likely a Wild fan.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I am. I still like I still sad that the North Stars left though. It's weird that generate when you lose a team as a kid. It's like
dramatic. The Winnipeg Jets when they moved to Atlanta, and I'm like, and then they moved them back. I'm like, that's not the Jets.
Yeah,
the actual Jets are the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah, true. Good. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So, other than the Minnesota Wild, who's your favorite NHL team?
Oh, it was Calgary. I
knew that already, but
yeah, Theo Fleury, man. I was like, you know, when you're a kid, you see this little dude just kicking ass. So I've been a Flames guy, you know, through Ginla and all that stuff. So they're always been my team. Although I couldn't tell you who's on the team for the most part now, but
their top line is Sam Bennett, I think, Tyler Toffoli, and Jonathan Huberdeau.
Okay.
You got a quite impressive top line.
Nice.
One place you could choose to live for the rest of your life, where would it be?
Oh, that's a good one.
Anywhere, doesn't matter. No limit.
That's a good one. You know, fuck it. I like where I'm at. You know, like we were talking. I was on a trip and we saw some friends and they've moved around a lot for work. And I'm like, you know, some people have it in them that they want to go to, you know, want to live in other places. And I think it's like genetic in me to stay in my tribal homeland of Minnesota suburb Lakeville. I love it here and I don't think I'd leave.
So you're the old tribe chief. That's probably
like I got in my genetics to stay here. Other people need to flee and start a new tribe somewhere else. But I like it where I am.
It's an honest question.
Yeah.
A game that is never getting bored other than 95. Any video game that you find that you can't get bored. You can play it as many and you're just like, this is just
well, awesome. Yeah, I guess I would be Tecmo Super Bowl because I'm in a league there. You know, but it's the camaraderie of playing a guy doing the dynasty stuff and drafting guys. Like I can't really play it by myself, you know. It's the same. It's just like what you've set up, you know. It's this fun, you know, league and playing and stuff. And I'm a lot worse in Tecmo than I am in 95. I'm like a sub 500 player. But yeah, I love that game too.
Good one. This one's more of an honest question. Is cereal a soup?
Cereal soup? No, because you need some type of broth, and you're not really making a broth. Normally, that's oh, fucking goats are eating my wife's flowers right now. Oh, she's gonna kill me. I see you. Hey, get. Sorry.
Okay. That's funny. It's gonna be a good part to add in there. So the reason why I say is cereal is soup, because you do kind of create a broth if you have, say, like Lucky Charms with your milk.
You sold me, man. It's true. It becomes a broth because of sugar or whatever it is. Yeah, you're right. It is a soup.
For Cocoa Puffs.
I'm an easy. It's you know, like you can always sell a salesman, as I say. They're the easiest ones to sell.
Well, put it this way: if you could sell ice to an Eskimo, you know you're doing a good job.
I gotta sell fucking mats to pay a mortgage, so I think I'm a genius.
Well, put it this way: if it's been working, keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
If an animal could talk, which one would be the rudest?
Which one would be the rudest? Fucking seagulls, man. They're fucking menaces, and I'm a bird guy, but they're menaces.
I would actually choose a giraffe. And okay. I don't know why I told my wife this earlier, and I said, it's because they're tall, and they'd be like, look at you fucking short guy down there. Look at me and my long neck.
I mean, I'm no tall tree, so all tall guys are have a little bit of prick in them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They all get that free pussy just for being tall.
Oh, fuck, is that ever funny? This next one, I thought this was probably really funny when I thought about it, and then I wrote it down. Which sport would be the funniest if you added mandatory alcohol?
Mandatory alcohol. Oh, I guess, you know, you got to do something with where people are getting hit, because then they're like shitting their pants. So it'd be hockey, because football, you know, you can like, you got to be on ice I would have to say hockey because you can't even, eventually you can walk drunk, but it's harder to skate drunk.
Fuck yeah, I can barely stand up freaking sober, let alone drunk.
Exactly.
And the bad thing is my wife said, oh, maybe table tennis. I'm like, how would that be fucking mandatory?
It'd be pretty boring. It'd just be guys serving to each other.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I think that ball just went past me.
I guess you could do like X. The only other thing would be like an X game kind of thing if you got the giant half pipe, you know, and you're drunk.
I was actually just about to say that. I'd say skateboarding.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be funny. I can't watch that new channel he got in Discord. I can't watch that stuff. I haven't even gone in there. It's so painful. Like when I see somebody break an arm, I feel like my arm's breaking voodoo doll style.
Well, I actually enjoy, like I can watch people get hurt, but like seriously hurt is like
I saw one. I'm like, oh, that took a little of my soul right there.
I had like a raging heart on, and that turned into a limp.
Exactly. Give me back to Just Babes.
I just want my OnlyFans channel back.
You did. Oh, that was my third thing I need you to do for the league is auto log me out of Just Babes when I leave Discord, you know, because it goes back to where you were the last time. So I'd be like,
I can't do that. You would have to.
You got to fix it because I've popped it up a few times when I was with the in-laws and family. I'm like, go quick.
You know what the best trick is? Don't do it with the in-laws.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like I'm off to the flame. I can't stay off the damn Discord. It's sad.
So maybe I should do it as maybe Just Babes is private only, and you have to be invited to.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Well, let's not put any hurdles into having the best channel on the internet.
So I know with our league, it's becoming more and more evident that everyone in the league to some degree uses some substance to kind of get themselves to feel pretty good. Judd tends to use a combination. Other people use strictly one item. Some people tend to use the liquid courage. But this is more of a question. Which 3 teams would be the hardest to beat sober, and 3 that would be hardest to beat drunk?
Ooh. Well, I guess, hardest to beat. Like they're drunk or I'm drunk?
Well, let's say you.
I guess the sober is the cream of the crop guys, because you have that anxiety where you never I'll play like Hill or Bell or, you know, Nips or all those guys, LHX. And I'll shoot like twice a game because I'm too scared to just let her rip because you're
Fuck you, 2 shots, man. Like you're more popular than some escorts. They only let 1.
Yeah, exactly. So like playing those guys sober sucks. Like I always say, like there's dart guys, like professional dart players that have a breathalyzer, and they keep their booze, like they drink a little bit, stay loose, but not drunk. And that's kind of like me. I like to have about 2.5 beers in me is my optimal relaxation. So and then drunk. I guess I'll just go my Segathon boys because I've played them all drunk so much. So we'll go with those guys. If they're drunk, if I'm sober, I can beat all the Sega guys sober. But when I have boozes, they normally beat me. So I'd want to play all the Sega guys sober because I can beat them sober. But normally they beat me when we're drinking.
Fair enough. If you had a porn star name, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh. Let's see. Oh man. Ronald Rump? I don't know. No, that's bad. That's probably a bad one.
I said mine before. Mine's Sirloin.
Sirloin, I like it. I was trying to do a play on words, but I probably don't want to use rump as my thing.
And everybody says is like you choose your middle name in the street you were born on.
Okay. Patrick Pillsbury. There you go. That's a good one.
Oh fuck, that's funny, man. People push your belly button.
Yeah.
It's like pushing.
Yeah, that'd be my catchphrase.
What would be your catchphrase?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. What is this porn you're talking about? I have no clue what that is, and I'll have to Google it later because I've never heard that word before.
Oh, neither have I. I only heard it as vertical mamba and the horizontal toka.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Bumping Uglies is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Which movie describes your life the best?
Oh, which movie describes my life the best? That's a tough one. I'll say It's a Wonderful Life. We'll do that one because family business.
I would have said that or Vacation.
Okay, all right. That's a good one.
And literally, if everybody, our 7 viewers that are listening or followers, Segathon sent me a picture of him at Christmas with his family, and I looked and I showed my wife. I said, "Look, it's Chevy Chase."
Yeah, it totally is. Yeah, I definitely have that vibe going.
Anybody wanting to get a good laugh or just like a picture of what Nick is like, watch Vacation, the original Vacation, when they go in the family truckster and travel across the United States from Chicago to California. It's Mr. Sagathon.
Thank you. Chevy's got a little more swagger than me. I'm like, I got a little more dork in me, but yeah, I'll take it.
There you go. If you had to marry, bang, or kill the other Segathon guys, who would they be?
Oh, well, I marry Brandon because he's my BFF. You got to kill Judd because he's a wild card.
You never know.
Then I guess I got to bang Blair. Ugh.
Hey, Waterloo tribe and high tournament guys. Everybody else who is in a tribe, you're gonna get the same question.
Yeah.
So don't think you're gonna get off easy. Well, you might get off easy depending on who you're actually playing with. Weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh gosh, weirdest.
We know Nate is horse meat, at least from what we know.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I've eaten like raccoon and squirrel and rabbit. What? I mean, I'm a scavenger. I'm like a hunter guy, so yeah, I've eaten all that crap. So probably that. I'd probably say like squirrel and raccoon or something like that.
Holy fuck. Okay. I think the weirdest things I've ever had, I've had shark.
Okay.
I've had horse. I've had horse as well.
Oh wow.
Fuck, I can't remember the last thing. I've had bat.
Oh my gosh, that's COVID, man.
Well, it was cooked to a fire.
Where's that?
Fine charcoal.
Were you overseas?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I had snake.
Okay, all right.
Snake is almost, everybody says everything tastes like chicken. That kind of comes really close to if it's cooked right.
Gotcha.
I'm not trying to be a connoisseur of snake eating here, and nor do I endorse it. Your favorite scent and your least favorite one.
Oh, favorite scent.
Like mine would be like cookies in the oven.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean that's a go-to.
And the worst one would probably be when you open up a garbage bin that the dog poo's been in there for a couple of days and it feels just dry and
Yeah, I'd have to say cookies. That's up there. Rotten eggs is pretty bad. That because I got the chickens and stuff, and
You
that
can tell.
that. Oh yeah, it's nasty. Plus, sometimes my kids will collect chickens that are sitting on eggs, and then I don't know, and I'll make eggs and crack and put a freaking dead chicken fetus in the pan. It's pretty gross.
Well, it's a delicacy in some countries.
Yeah, exactly.
Pet peeve.
Oh, it is what it is. I hate that when people say it is what it is.
I hate when people say living the life.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay.
like, fuck off. You're living a hell and you don't like it.
Yeah.
So the last one to end this segment, it's a what if question.
Okay.
If you had beaten Sean Bell in season 2, would you have won the Bruley that year?
Who do you play?
Ticklepuss.
Let me see. Me and Tickle got a pretty 500 record against each other. I'll believe in myself and say, yeah, I really wanted to win early in one of these first couple seasons because I knew if I could win in the first couple seasons, it'd be good. But now I don't know if I'll ever win because they're just the skills that some of these guys have. I don't think I can do it in 7 games. So I'll say I won it because I beat Tickle last time we played in the playoffs, but it could have been anyone's game. I would have been a lot happier. I really want to win a Brule Cup. Like it's probably my top goal in life right now.
My top goal in life right now is to win a series. Doesn't matter what it is. And the play-in series does not count.
Yep.
And shitty build cup series wins do not count either.
Yeah. I'm just
There's no record that you won.
I think this tickiness passing thing is going to catch on and maybe change the game a little bit for that. Like watching him in the half court playing that passing and getting those goals.
To be honest, Tickness is reminding me, if I had to use another sport as an analogy, he's like in the NBA with Steph Curry, shooting in the arc, like way beyond the arc, and everyone's just like, really, like he can't do this all the time, and he just keeps doing it and doing it
and it makes, and I think that was always the, I love 95, but 94 does have a lot of great points. And the one thing with 94 is just the beautiful passes that they can do and the slower moving of it. You can really do it. And Tick's been able to do it on 95, which is a lot faster and more difficult. So if we can make our game a little more beautiful to watch, I'm all for it.
Well, he's the grandfather of making 95. All right, so we're back to the next segment called Rapid Fire, which this is actual rapid fires. So, Mr. Segathon, I'm going to throw 20 rapid fire questions at you. You have to choose one or the other.
Okay.
Singing or dancing?
Dancing.
Wine or cocktail?
Cocktail.
Toes or fingers?
Toes, baby.
This one is close to your heart. A Nubian or La Mancha?
Oh, well, Nubians have longer ears and are better milk producers, and La Manchas have really small, cute ears and are a little quieter. But I'll go Nubian.
Okay. Gophers or Vikings?
Ooh, all sport. So all Gophers against Vikings.
You have to think about it. Whatever Gophers.
Yeah, I'll go. I gotta go Gophers then, because basketball, hockey, football.
This is more of like a stupid one. Blair or Brandon?
Oh, Brandon, all the way. Blair can rot in hell.
Diarrhea or throwing up?
Oh, I got a loose stool, so I do diarrhea about every third shit.
You're probably scared about playing some of the guys in the league.
Oh, totally. I have to shit. You ever do that where you get on? It's like, oh, I gotta play fucking Colin. And like, oh, my fucking stomach. Hold on, man. And I'm like, oh, kid's crying. I'll be back.
Your asshole your asshole tightens up like a snare drum.
Yeah, I'm just sorry, man, fucking kid. And I'm just shitting.
Bath or shower?
Oh, I love a bath.
Likewise, we're in the same boat. iPhone or Android?
I've only had iPhones, so I got to say iPhones, I guess. But people say Androids are awesome.
They are, but we're kind of limited. Plane or car?
What?
Plane or car?
Or car. Oh, give me a car. I love driving through. We drove through the middle of the country to go to Colorado, and it was great.
Well, I would actually take car myself because you get to decide when you stop and everything else like that.
Exactly.
Rude or untrue?
Rude. And which one do I like better?
Which one would you choose? Somebody being rude or somebody who's lying to you all the time?
Oh, rude, because at least they're honest.
There you go. Would you rather be drowned or burned?
Oh fuck! I guess drowned. That's horrible.
Kittens or puppies?
Oh, puppies all the way.
Death metal or experimental jazz?
Oh, I guess I'd say death metal.
Dracula or Frankenstein?
Oh, Dracula.
Drunk or high?
You know, it's a push now as I've got into the gummies as they become more prevalent. So I'm going to say push. I don't have hangovers. I don't have hangovers on the gummies compared to drinking. I have some of the worst hangovers in the world. So that keeps me from being an alcoholic.
Well, there you go. Now you found your second love.
Mm-hmm. But I can't play high. I'm really bad at that.
I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
Summer or fall?
Oh, fall.
Terrible 50-year marriage or blissful marriage that ends in tragedy after a year?
Oh, geez. I guess blissful.
Tits or ass?
Oh, titties.
Give me you old sailor, you fucking motorboat that shit.
Yeah.
Road trip or camping?
Road trip.
NHL 95 or Tecmo?
Oh, 95. Sorry, Tecmo.
It's okay. So that brings us to our last segment, which is probably the one that Mr. Sovil, Mr. Segathon is looking forward to. It's the untold, ungridded, unlocked Ask Magnus, or the Segathon podcast now, where he flips the table on me.
So it's ratings, game feel, and everything. So I like how everybody talks about all the ratings and talking about all the stuff, but I think everything is fluff besides speed. Like speed's 1, agility's 1A or 1B, and then stick handling's like the
ugly cousin.
But you need it to complete the trifecta. And then shot accuracy and power. I don't look at anything else. So first of all, I would like you on the speed agility. It's kind of a combination, but what are your thoughts? Like, would you rather have a 5-4, 5 speed, 4 agility, or 4 speed, 5 agility? Like what do you think? Because obviously you need both, but what one would you rather have higher? Do you think it makes for a better player?
I'm going to go against common knowledge and probably the masses, but I'd prefer somebody with more agility than speed.
Yeah.
And I'll say the simple reason I choose agility over speed is agility is almost similar to acceleration in 95. If you got a guy who's a good agility, he's going to get up to speed quicker.
Mm-hmm. So, there's like Savard on Tampa Bay in the original game. He's got like 5 or 6 agility and then like 2 or 3 speed,
but he gets up to speed fast.
And he's fun to be shifty. So I see that, but man, I tell you, I give speed over agility. I think it's more fun to have more agility than speed, but at the end of the day, I want that speed to run down those asshole Waterloo guys on those breakaways.
Well, the big thing is for me, it doesn't matter when I play you because you're going to use down B from center ice anyways.
Exactly, baby. Exactly.
Motherfucker.
Okay, so next thing is what controls the puck more of like, when you get hit, does agility or stick handling matter more? Like keeping the puck for going out. If I'm doing a Sunnyvale special, would I rather have a 5-6? Would I rather have a 5 stick handling or a 5 agility? And 5-4 again.
You have to actually think about stick handling's out of 15.
Okay, but let's divide it by. It's
by 6. Put it on the 6.
Okay, yeah.
So stick handling or agility, you're saying?
Which one would you rather have higher?
To be honest, I would rather still have the agility. Stick handling, the only time, and this is me being honest about it, the only time I find that agility, stick handling actually has a factor to it is when you're doing breakaways. Because John Bell has high stick handling guys, and he fucking undresses my goalie as if he was on prom.
We'll talk about that weird rated guy that came in, that James Black or whatever. He's got like 6 stick handling, and then he's low everywhere else. Isn't he on your team, or is he on somebody else's team?
He's on my team, and when he came into the league with Chicago in the NHL, they said they had silky smooth hands.
Yeah.
but he wasn't the most fleet of foot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like Pavel Barber, who's like that magician sensation on YouTube that just stick handles the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
He was Trevor Zegras before Trevor Zegras became himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I would still take agility because everybody's seen how I play, and I'm kind of like I live and die by agility because it just feels like the player has more reactivity to moving.
Yeah. Well, and there's something like, so would you say the stick handling is how sticky the puck's on your stick?
Yeah.
Because like if you go to the OG game, like the Courtnall boys on Dallas or Vancouver, you know, they're super fast and agile, but they have their stick handling isn't that great. So I know playing with them, there's a few times where you make it almost all the way there, and then all of a sudden they just drop the puck right before the the money shot.
So when you're using your joystick or you're using your D-pad and you're trying to do like the shiftiness like King Raff did, like he was a menace. I don't think anybody, like, no offense to Sean, nobody comes close to King Raff on that fucking juicy thumbs that he had.
Yeah.
It's almost as if he had thumb injections or thumb.
We'll compare him. Watch him in '94 do it too. It's
I've seen him play in '94 too.
So okay, let's take this. So, and maybe you can test this out sometime. If I had a guy that had, like, let's say speed's at 5, and you had agility at 5 and stick landing at, let's just round it down to 1, or 5 and 1. Like, I always thought the going back and forth is still agility, and stick handling is more about just how magnetic the puck is on your stick, like not getting hit over. But you think it has something to do with the shift as well?
Like the shifty of the player?
When you're doing the back and forth deke.
Well, put it this way. I have Cliff Rounding and I have Ron Francis. I've been flopping between the
two. Charter member of the Minnesota Mullet / Swayzes.
I know. And the bad thing is that Francis is very good at stick handling, but he's lacking that speed. But then you bring Rounding on the ice, and it's like lightning bolt in a bottle, but he can't stick handle. He gets knocked off the puck very easily. So I think stick handling has some credibility and clout when it comes to being body checked.
Gotcha.
So if a guy gets physical, a lot of my guys on my team have decent to okay stick handling, except Solani and Forsberg. Everybody else's stick handling kind of mid to low. And anytime I try to bring them up in a rush, they lose the puck.
So, all right, so let's shift that into weight. Does weight have anything to do with the kid getting hit off the puck? Can you take it better if you're a big dude or not, or doesn't matter? Like when you're going for the cut across.
I personally think players with weight have an advantage to some degree only if they have the checking / aggression / roughing categories, at least at the mid to high tiers.
On defense, you're saying?
Forwards or defensemen?
Playing defense.
Oh, just playing defense.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Like I'm just saying, like, take Ticklepuss for an example with Keith Tkachuk.
Yeah. Keith
Tkachuk's an 11 or 12 in weight, but he also has roughness, aggression, and checking. So he's really hard to knock off the puck.
You think that all matters in knocking off? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, because that comes into like stick handling to some degree, but if you don't have the weight to, like, it's almost like if you took 2 9s and hit them against each other, most of the time they would just stop in the center. But if you had like say an 11 checking, or let's just say a 6 checking to a 2, but the 2 was like, I don't know, let's say he was a 12 in weight and the other guy was a 12 in weight, the 12-2 is going to get knocked down 80% of the time.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I haven't seen that, but I got to look into it deeper.
So here's an example. Look at Eric Lindros. Go and look at his abilities.
We're talking OG Eric Lindros or now Eric Lindros?
Look OG and look now.
Okay.
You can see not a huge difference. Is that his aggression and roughness are not very high. His checking is mid, I think, but he's heavy and he's fast. So a lot of people think that, that's why Bomb Jack complains so much about Lindros he's a big guy and he's getting knocked off the puck, because Lindros was not a thumper. When he played in the NHL, he was not a thumper. He was a power forward, but he did not go in the corners and the boards looking to light people up. I don't care what you say, Wolfie. He can be your fucking boy heartthrob, and you would fucking give your left nickel and left nut for a taste of his mandu, but he can't hit. Pink is the only one that's been able to really do something with him. Even Sean, when he had him, like Lindros got knocked off the puck more often than not.
All right, well, let's stick with the whole Lindros thing, because OG Lindros was he was one of 4 guys in the OG game to have 99 accuracy. Him, Mario, Luke Robitaille, and that Dmitry Sidrick or whatever. So that sick, they obviously don't hand out that sick accuracy a lot when they're designing the game. Do you think that's like having that 6 accuracy is something that has extra power over other things?
Shot accuracy or passing? Shot accuracy?
Shot accuracy.
Shot accuracy.
They don't give it out a lot.
I honestly, if I had to rank the player's skills overall, based like I wouldn't even put speed in the top 5.
Oh yeah, well that's you're totally wrong, but okay.
Explains it why you're in the tier 1 and I'm in tier 2 in your life. But the reason why I say it is that I find shot power has huge implications on your players. Their accuracy also, pass accuracy, I honestly think doesn't fucking matter in the game. And yeah, I'm one of those guys, because you can have a guy who has a 6 pass accuracy, but if you're not user passing it, it doesn't matter. I bet you anything Tickiness has guys that their pass accuracies like 4s and 3s.
Yeah, I thought somewhere in pass accuracy, like in the 94 guys talked about how it might be higher passing, might be the drone passes more than doesn't. Like it doesn't mean anything.
The tendencies.
Yeah, the tendencies. But well, my whole thing with accuracy and power, it's kind of like speed and agility together. Like I always look for that 5 speed or 5 shot power accuracy as a centerman, and it's like you normally get money shots when you pass it. It's like,
well, prime example would be Olin Nolan in season 1 for my team.
Yeah, he just dominated. He was shit. Like he's a guy who had like really low stick handling. I know, and maybe stick handling might be more of a drone thing too, because like if you look at Boston's team, Brian
Smolinski.
Yeah, they are the Smolinski glitch, but like they have Afraidy and Borg have really high stick handling, and the starters of Oates and Cam Neely have really low stick handling. And I think the programmers nerf them because they're good players, because they found that if everybody has high stick handling on that team, they're hard to beat. Maybe drone, like computer versus computer or something, because I don't see any other reason why they'd have such good players with low stick handling as starters on Boston.
Well, not only that, when you really think about it, is that Boston also back in 95 was a thumper team too.
Yeah.
So you imagine you add stick handling to a thumper.
So, and then going to like shot power, like I like having that 99 shot power, but when you have like the Afraidy McGinnis guys that only have like 2 accuracy, it doesn't really do much, I think, at least. I'd rather have a little more shot accuracy. Like right now, Hedekin on my team has really low shot accuracy, like a 1 or a 2. And I've missed so many deep goals and other shots because it's just.
So shot accuracy, this is one that's very close to my heart. And it's actually my highest valued statistic.
The shot accuracy.
Shot accuracy. The reason for it is because it's been known now that it's the Magnus Clapper.
Yeah.
And like Brandon's starting to pull it out, and anybody I play against, they know it's coming. And I could score from anywhere now with my slap shot. I can do it going up as well. I've been putting goals in through the goalie's 5-hole from slap shots going up. And
so, can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
So do you think that accuracy will override a goalie's puck control? Like, so if the goalie's in front of it, but if the accuracy is high enough, it'll go through like the drone goalie that wouldn't go through a lower accuracy? Or is it more just hitting on the net, getting on net? Like
it's more likely to hit the net, but I tend to user my direction when I'm shooting.
Okay.
So for me, I know, like, put it this way, everybody in the league's got their own style and ability that just works all the time for them. Like I can list them all off. Yours is your down B. I couldn't score a down B if my life depended on it. Tickle Puss, that fucking puss dump, the Canadian dump, or the Taipei dump, whatever you want to call it. LHX is a dead man in the corner. Klein's cross crease. Mine's the clapper. I've seen other
Jeez.
people try it. Not many people are successful with it. And Brandon's the closest one to like incorporate it into his game. He still hasn't mastered it. But
Yeah.
I'm going to say that is the one skill I think in the league nobody else comes close to me. It's similar to like people were saying manual goaltenders. Who are the top 5 manual goaltenders in the league? You can list them off. If you actually had to list top 5 people to do slap shots, manual use slap shots, I'm number 1 and it's not close. And I'm sorry, no offense to anybody else, but nobody else can do it properly.
No, it's so you think that 6 accuracy going through the 5 hole helps?
Oh, hands down. And like I've scored a lot of my goals like that are with Solani and Forsberg, but also Chris Pronger.
Yeah, it's just I'm just interesting if there's math involved when the goalie.
There's algorithms inside the
game. Like so when the goalie, when the goalie drops a puck, goes through his glove, like if it's accuracy, power, or just luck that makes them drop. Like, is there a math fight
there's definitely an algorithm that's kind of like this player's shot accuracy is 6.
Mm-hmm.
If he releases it at this point, the goalie's puck control is this, and the probability of it going in is 1 out of 3.
Yeah, it's like a dice roll, basically.
Pretty much.
Every time
basically
you shoot.
Going to that.
That's like Tecmo too. Like when you pass, like to get a covered catch, is a lot of times it's just math.
Correct.
Okay, so let's shift it then to the other attributes I think have no bearing in the game. What does offensive awareness do?
Offensive awareness, I honestly think it's drone related.
I honestly, is it
have
positioning? Like, do they set up higher, closer to the net? Do they attack the net? What do you think?
I think it has some ability to be aware of your offensive surroundings. That's all it is. It's alignment. It's players moving around, being positioned in a half decent spot. Like,
do you think they would go closer to the net in the offensive zone, and maybe, or are they aware? Like, I always think like defense, how I kind of understand defense, maybe a higher awareness guy may chase a guy farther away from the puck. Like, he might see, the drone might turn on earlier on a defensive awareness.
Well, and that's the thing for offensive awareness, I think, is like if you're doing that flip around the backboards, the wing is not going to crash the net while the puck's going behind the net. If he has good offensive awareness, he'll likely be lined up. I'm the right wing. I'm going to be on the right boards. So it's not like I'm going crashing to the net because like I'm not really. I see the puck going towards the net, so I'm going to go that way instead of like positioning themselves.
Well, it's interesting. So like this year, I have Hedeken hit. He's my St. Cloud State Huskies forever. That's my college. So I got to draft all the St. Cloud State guys. But he has 6 awareness this year, and I've noticed, and he's my right D. So that's the guy who sits and guards the net. Like, I found with his 6 defensive awareness that he doesn't. I'm kind of contradicting myself now as I talk about it, but he won't chase as much. He sits it's almost like he's magneted on that spot. Like, I've seen him like just sit there rather than like, when the guys go around the net and they're kind of hanging there. I'm like, kill the guy, but he stays right in front of the
He's cutting off the what's it called? The middle, the slot feed. He's cutting.
Yeah, so maybe that defensive awareness, at least in that spot, means I'm not going to chase. I'm going to stay. So maybe it might mean different in different positions.
So put it this way, like, so I have Pronger, then I have Yaroslav Slavoski and Joel Bouchard. Those are the guys that have been running most of the season. Pronger is going to be my staple, obviously, because he turns into a fucking absolute monster. But the guy that caught me off guard is Andrei Zazuzin. You reason why? 99 defensive awareness. Not the fleetest foot. I can tell the difference. He's slow. However, he does not crash the net. He does not pin my goalie. I noticed Pronger's been doing it more than Zazuzin.
Really?
And then I looked at Pronger's defensive awareness. He's a 4.
Huh. Interesting. Oh, and that's something too, where you just get a slow, high defensive awareness guy. Because I mean, I would say that's the number one way people like the goalie. I call it the washing machine, stuck in the washing machine.
Oh yeah, right up against the post.
Yeah, goalie blocking, and I mean that's why King Raff quit, because he hated that move so much.
Put it this way: to you, to rage, no, he didn't rage quit. He went off in the sunset. But he told me, he says, I absolutely hate 95 because of that move. That's the reason why I'm quitting, because it's such bullshit.
Yeah.
And to some degree, I know Klein and Wolfie there had on their podcast things that pissed them off and things that need to be changed. Everyone's like, I need penalties gone. Penalties are going to stay. I do understand their frustration with having penalties.
Yeah.
I had it in the queue the other night with Klein. I had 13 penalties.
Yeah. Well, and it's just like, it's the drone penalties that I think is the biggest thing, because I know that's like the Waterloo guys. I mean, they check 10 times more than I do. So eventually, if you're going to check time 10 times more, you should probably get a few penalties called.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost like the NFL. The guy's like sprinting towards the end zone. Some moron takes a penalty. You're like, what the fuck? You were nowhere even near the puck. Stay away from everybody.
Well, let's transfer then, because we're talking about checking. What does the checking and aggressiveness stat do?
It's the likelihood, like, put it this way, Pronger's got very high checking, and he fucking pastes people into boards. Like, he'll draw roughing penalties and cross-checking penalties quite often. I actually looked at his stats. He's like, not his actual attributes, his actual stats of penalties and which ones he's been drawn. Cross-checking and roughing. The aggression and checking is the more likelihood that person will hit somebody.
A drone, but like,
it's drone. All these attributes are drone related. Most of them are drone related.
That's a good clarification on that.
Because I honestly think a lot of the attributes, once you take somebody who's like a 6 speed and you're flying down the boards and you're like when you have Fedorov, you're like, no one's gonna catch him if he's on a breakaway.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if it's drone related, those attributes are more drone related or driven towards the drones to act in a certain way.
So what you're saying is who's a skinny, speedy guy like Ronning? He can still lay the checks out.
He can.
Man controlled, but not drone controlled.
Not drone controlled. He'll get pasted in the boards most of the time.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the attributes, and this is what I like from enough testing myself, and I've not logged as many games as the Waterloo Cries or the Segathon or the Hyde tournament guys. It's when you mod video games, you have to do a lot of testing to make sure no glitches are happening, and you notice a lot of different things. I honestly think the attributes are all drone related, and using the attributes themselves as a user are the likelihood of what you can potentially do with that player. Like Olin Nolan, very low rated overall and still fucking kills it. Peter Nedved with Sean Bell. He's not great, and he lights it fucking up. Igor Larionov, not overly awesome, but he's fucking first in the league in scoring. Michael Renberg, another one, not all that great, but whoever's using him, if the person using him knows what to do, will likely produce with that player.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's like the Hartford's got like Paul Ranheim, who's speedy and shitty, but like, you can really just getting that speed.
Other than Ed Belfour at this point, think about all the best goalies in the league that we've had. Patrick Roy's never at the top.
Nope.
Ed Belfour was a fucking 3-time Brick Wall Award winner. Hasek recently has been playing better, but he's never been a finalist for the fucking Brick Wall Award. He won it last year though, because I think he didn't win it last year. So it really depends on manual goaltending at that point,
or just great checking like Bell. Like I think Bell's
great checking. So you look at all the manual goaltending guys in the league, or all the top goalies in the league. It's not because of the drone related. It's because they're manually using them. If they allowed it in like the high tournament where they just say auto goaltending, you have to learn how to play defense. I'm firmly assuming that the elite goaltenders would be at the elite top, where the bottom feeders would be at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's just like that. The Belfour thing is like it'll take away like the money deke that you do. Like they'll take away more of those than like a, Andy Moog or something.
Yeah. And the big thing is when like going through the modding and everything like that, you find out what attributes carry a lot of weight. So goalies, there's 3 attributes. That's all you need to know. The ones where they say glove right, glove left, and everything like that have no bearing. That's just drone related. If you're manually goaltending, you better have some fucking sick puck control.
Okay.
Because all the guys who have high puck control goalies, I have a hard time even when they're manually doing them.
Well, it's interesting too, like speed. I didn't realize goalie speed until playing in the Waterloo tournament and having a slower goalie, and I was like, oh man, it's hard to get over to that other post.
That's
if you
not
don't have-
actually
or,
speed. That's not actually your speed.
or agility. Well, maybe it is agility. Okay,
Because
I was like
95, you know what the weight value of speed is for a goalie?
what?
An absolute donut.
Really?
Has no bearing.
Wow, I got to do some difference. Steve Shields, get packing. I got to find a agility. But the one thing with at least on the OG game, most of the time, if they're rated high in one thing, they're rated high in everything, or they're rated low in everything.
Well, most of the times when you look at all the goalies in the league right now, look at their agility, puck control, and defense awareness. Those are the most valued skills of the goalie. They all carry the same weight.
Interesting.
The other ones they carry, so basically agility, puck control, and defense awareness carry a 4.5 value per attribute. So if you got a 6, you're like over 25 points of your overall rating is dedicated to that one skill. But if you have your glove right, glove left, stick right, stick left, those are only valued at 1 point per attribute.
Huh, that's interesting.
So goalies with puck control, defensive awareness, and agility are valued at 4.5 per attribute. So you can see the weight disparity between the actual skill of the goalie is not so much about their equipment. It's actually about when the puck comes towards them, how are they going to react? Could they move quickly? Vakun's agility is only like 4, and I fucking struggle getting across the fucking crease. His puck control is like 3 or 4, and his defense awareness is like 4. But they do go up, and that's when he hits the 80s and 90s. Right now he's at 76. So.
Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. That's why I love these talks, is to get the inner workings of the game, in and talk about all those things.
So there's another thing a lot of people ask all the time too, like, oh, like the guy's rated a 4, but when I go into the game, he's only like a 63. Is because when you look at the player skills tab, where it actually has the range of the skills, when you have a 1, you range from 0 to 25. Or no, when you're a 0, you're 0 to 25. When you're a 1, you're 26 to 38. So when you're in the game and you see a player who's like 5s across the board, he still has a variance between 83 and 98.
Yeah.
So he can fluctuate between that at any given time, at any given game. So you can have your stud 5s. That's how come when there's the unicorns in the league that are only like 100 overall, when there's 6 across the board, they'll stay pretty much if they're a 6, they're locked in at 99. They'll never drop below 99 at any point in any ever.
So that's why 6s are so important, right? You don't have to worry about the variability of a 98 speed or an 81 speed or whatever it is.
So to be honest, the only way you have an advantage over most teams in this league for speed, you really have to have a variance of a team that has no speed. Like a prime example in the league, and I'm sorry, Pink, I'm picking on you. His team is slow as mud. His top guy's Lindros, but you take Lindros out, everybody else is like 2s and 3s.
Oh, yeah.
And then you look at a team who's maybe jacked up at 5s and 6s, you're blowing by him all the time. So there's a discrepancy in that for sure. But a lot of people don't notice that when everybody's got 5s and 6s.
True. Yeah, that is the one thing. Like the speed is really like when I drafted first year, I had a lot faster team than most, but now everybody's in the 5s, so it's kind of hard to.
And some of the guys alluded to it as well. They're saying, oh, in 2000 and 2001, everyone's ratings kind of skyrocket.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So a little bit of background on it. So we've been able to get all the ROMs and data and everything else like that from the 94 website, most of it, from 1951 up to 99. 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003 was when the PlayStation came out. Nobody has the rosters for that. Nobody has the ROMs for that. Nobody has the ratings for that. So they're very, very inflated if you do a conversion of those ratings to 95 or 94.
Oh, gotcha.
Can't convert them. So if you have a player who's an 88 overall, you have to put them as a 5 because that's where the 88 falls into the ratings.
Oh, gotcha.
But in those eras between 2000 to 2003, everybody's player skills were fucking elevated. There was like when you played PS1 or PS2 games that were NHL 2002, there was like 11 or 12 or 14 players that were over 100.
Oh yeah, they just really went crazy. Oh, that's the thing. Like my Robert Reichel turns into a stud for a few years, even though he's basically riding the bench for the last 3 years. But it's just that stat inflation that's coming up for the next couple of years.
And that's the thing. But the thing is, yes, everybody's going to have a fucking bump up. So it's going to make everyone teams like almost super to some degree. But then they all drop off. So everybody's going to be like, well, it's a spike in the overall ratings. I'm like, yeah, everybody gets the benefit of it. And everyone will have the disadvantage of it when it drops off.
Ah, interesting.
So it's not like somebody else is getting an advantage over another one. If you built your team in a way where you have some duration to your roster, you won't feel it. Like Brandon's not going to feel it. Gamby's not going to feel it. I probably won't. But guys like Judd, yourself, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Sean,
my team gets basically the bubonic plague in 2 years. After 2 years, and
so that's the thing is after that, once the lockout season happens, the league is going to be extremely fun once we hit post lockout. Yeah, once you hit post lockout, you got Crosby, you got Ovechkin.
Yeah,
you start getting those guys on the rosters. You start getting your Corey Perry's, your Ryan Getzlavs, you get your Roberto Luongos, start getting the guys everybody knows now in hockey.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's cool. Well, this has been awesome. I'm gonna probably have to. This is probably the first time we're gonna have. It's almost dark here in Minnesota at 8:01 Central, and all my chickens are outside, and I got to put them in so the fox doesn't eat them.
So we find out why Nick is cutting this short. Son of a bitch.
So if that's good, I mean, I think this is a pretty good one. We can dig into it more if you want me to come back, but I think probably this is probably a good spot. I got all my I had all my questions written down on stats, and you went above and beyond.
Was it on a goat? Was it on a goat skin that you had skinned and then written on it with like ink?
Exactly. Squid ink.
Squid ink. Okay, or bull testicles or whatever you wanted to use.
Yes, yum.
Yum. High protein. All right, ladies and gents, that's our podcast with Segathon, the granddaddy of it all. Maybe he's outed himself as not the real granddaddy, but we'll keep it at that.
We appreciate what you do, man. This is a slice of joy in a sometimes shitty world, and this is awesome to do. So we all appreciate it.
And I appreciate everybody else in the league. And I'll end with this quote from Segathon himself: "The greatest thing on the internet."
Yes, it is. It is 100%. All right, bud. Well,
all right.
Let me close up these chickens, and maybe if I can't find a guy to play, I will play an XE or something.
Sounds good. Take care.
All right. Later.
Later, everyone.